Chapter 1: Digital Injuries. What are digital injuries? Digital injuries are normalized online activities, behaviors, and attitudes that can hurt others, damaging their physical integration, reputation, and image. Day by day, the world is more connected, leaving a wide ground for people to develop habits that can hurt others. Consequently, there is no day that we do not witness digital injuries online. People tend to downplay their bad practices and behaviors with different excuses. My behaviors are normal. As other people act in a similar way, I have the right to say what I want. Nowadays we are towards a generation of too many sensitive people, etc. This has led to a culture in which many digital injuries are applauded and seen as jokes. This lack of awareness perpetuates the cycle of digital injuries, with persons who do not recognize the impact of their actions and the harm they can cause. It is urgent that digital injuries are tackled. They are dangerous because of the following characteristics. They are not visible in the eyes of the society. They can become viral in few hours. They can be permanent. They are easily shared. They are not controlled. They are not restricted. They can be triggering. They can escalate. The most important characteristic of its dangerousness is their easy escalation into more catastrophic events such as hate speech, cyberbullying, hate crime, etc. Being funny? Bad unintended practices that cause digital injuries. Types of insults. The article, Desperately Seeking Intentions, Genuine and Jocular Insults on Social Media, describes different types of insults. The ones related to digital injuries are: personal insults. Characteristics. It targets a specific person. The injurer offends the victim addressing their specific personal characteristics, physical looks, etc. The injurer's objective is to offend the victim. Can be in any format, verbal, written, etc. Jocular insults. Characteristics. It can target a specific person, group of persons, even unknown persons. The injurer assigns the victim negative qualities, but within a non-serious context or in a joking way. Insults tend to be creative. The injurer does not intend to offend the victim. Can be in any format, verbal, written, etc. Genuine insults. Characteristics. The injurer's objective is to offend the victim and also display humor to the rest of the audience. The rest of the audience can react or join in these injuries. Can be in any format, verbal, written, etc. Online comments. Nowadays any person can post comments in different parts of the digital world. Comments can become a powerful tool for communication among several persons around the globe. The internet has given us the opportunity to speak with people we do not even know and create new friendships. On the other hand, some people can use comments to hurt others. Unfortunately, sometimes the audience can also join the first comment and contribute with this harmful behavior. It is important to post comments with responsibility, keeping in mind that our words can have a negative impact in others. Memes. The Oxford Dictionary defines meme as an image, a video, a piece of text, etc. that is passed very quickly from one internet user to another, often with slight changes that make it humorous. There are several digital tools to create memes easily, which makes any user learn to make them in a fast way. Their easy creation has made memes a versatile social phenomenon in different ways, such as humor, bring joy, humor, and entertainment to people's lives. Social opinions, they can be used to discuss about social issues or other important topics. Raise awareness, they can be used to raise awareness about political issues, environmental topics, etc. Cultural expression, they reflect the beliefs and attitudes from a particular community, group, or country. Advertising, companies can use them as a marketing tool. However, the use of memes can also be used as digital injuries. The article, Memes as the Representation of Criticism in Social Media, states, initially meme is just a funny picture that is only intended to entertain, just for fun, but now memes can be used to insinuate, criticize, ridicule something that is considered harmful, deviate from habit. In some cases, memes can become digital injuries for different reasons. Before sharing a meme, it is very important to consider that behind this action there is a real person who can be hurt. In some cases, memes can become digital injuries for different reasons. They can use persons' pictures without their permission. They can include messages to ridicule the persons on the image. Some people's image is included in several memes, damaging their reputation. They can include messages that are totally different with the identity, capacities, etc. of the person from the picture. Blogs, forums, and websites. Most of blogs and websites are developed with the objective of providing information, discuss several topics, share ideas, etc. However, digital injuries can emerge from these sites. For example, there can be websites to make fun of others. At forums and blogs, sensitive, controversial and trending topics can be discussed that can lead to change the perception of some people. It also can arise negative comments, online fights, etc. Although it is important to acknowledge that sometimes these sites are blocked due to the presence of hate speech and cyberbullying, for digital injuries still there is a long path for their banning. As digital injuriers are normalized behaviors, administrators are not aware of the harm they are causing, therefore they are still not controlled. Videos. Do you imagine publishing a tutorial and you receive negative comments? Videos can generate plenty of positive reactions, however some people can be mean and post negative comments or insults online, damaging the victim's self-confidence. Do you imagine that other persons publish a video in which they talk bad things about you? Injurers can publish videos in which they speak negatively about other persons. In many times, these videos can be offensive rather than giving a founded opinion. People from the entertainment industry, politicians, and influencers are more likely to suffer from these digital injuries. Do you imagine that you share a private video to a small group and all of a sudden it goes viral? Injurers can distribute other persons' videos without permission, destroying their privacy and reputation. Do you imagine that someone records and publish a video about you dealing with an uncomfortable situation? It is very frequent to find videos in which other people are passing through a bad situation, for example, a person complaining on an airport, and some minutes after the incident, the video is available in social media. In these videos, some people can post several insults, damaging the image of some persons who appear on the video. Do you imagine that a video of yourself is being manipulated by others? Videos can be manipulated by others for several reasons, such as create a fake image about someone, spread misinformation, create satirical videos, create false narratives, etc. Do you imagine that several people make fun of you because of an embarrassing video of yourself? In most of social media platforms, we can watch several videos with a humorous purpose. However, when people who appear in the video do not authorize its publishing, they can be affected by the constant reactions and comments from the audience. It is important to stop for a minute and make some reflections regarding the real persons who are behind those funny videos. While we laugh at the videos, for them they can become the worst moments of their lives. It is worth sharing the video knowing that we can harm the lives of others. Mixed realities and the FOMO effect. Have you ever had some feelings after watching some of your social network's contacts with the perfect trip, the perfect body, attending an awesome party, etc.? Please mark what you have felt. Stressed. Missing something. Sad. Anxious. Disappointed from your life. Jealous. Less self-esteem. Depression. Worried. Unsatisfied. Did you have some other feelings? Which ones? If you have had some negative feelings, you have experienced FOMO, feeling of missing out. According to the Oxford Dictionary, FOMO is a feeling of worry that an interesting or exciting event is happening somewhere else. FOMO is also a digital injury because it changes the perceptions of ourselves. Youngsters with high levels of FOMO perceive themselves as uglier, their lives as failure, etc. These perceptions affect our mental health as they can emerge anxiety, feelings of inferiority, anger, envy, etc. FOMO makes people to focus more their attention on the outside than within themselves, losing their identities. More and more we see youngsters defining their lives, styles, and attitudes based on what they see on the digital world. The number of likes and dislikes makes them follow some trends whether are convenient for them or not. FOMO can also lead youngsters to start doing things they did not want to, just to not being less cool or being excluded from a group. Therefore, some teens start with alcohol, sexual practices, sexting, etc. before they feel ready. If we make some reflections about the posts of our friends in social media, we will see that most of the posts related to their private lives are linked with happy and perfect moments. Some people buy things or go to specific places, concerts, expensive restaurants, etc. just to post it online. We barely see some posts about our friends telling their digital world about their bad moments, failures, or problems. For this reason, some psychologists suggest that FOMO is one of the reasons that social networks are so successful. Factors that contribute to injuring a person. There are several factors that cause digital injuries. Some of them are anonymity. Anonymity is one of the most relevant factors of causing digital injuries. Although there are more identity authentication methods for creating an account, the use of phone numbers, etc., being anonymous in the digital world is still easy as people can use fake usernames, alternative emails, etc. Less responsibility, being anonymous or hiding their real names, can make people feel with less responsibility for their behaviors and actions, therefore more likely to injure others. Dehumanization, being behind a screen can cause that people feel more detached from others, especially those who have not met in the real world. Some people see others more than targets than persons. The lack of not seeing the emotional impact in the moment of harming others may lead the injurers believe that the targets behind the screens are emotionless or not affected in the real life. Power abuse. Power dynamics can also lead to digital injuries. Some people who feel they have more status, popularity, or power might injure those they perceive with less popularity, power, or status. Lack of consequences. The digital world can have the sensation for injurers that their actions do not have immediate or visible consequences in the real life. However, it is important to highlight that digital injuries can have severe impacts on people's health and life, such as depression, anxiety, etc. Nowadays, there is no specific legislation in force that can help victims. This situation can encourage injurers to engage in these types of behaviors. Personal issues. People who are dealing with personal problems in their lives, such as mental health, have more probabilities to be involved in injuring others, as a way to cope or enhance a sense of control. Some psychologists mention that some people, who have been victims of violence, can become aggressors, if they do not address their violent past experiences with therapy. Peer pressure in group dynamics. Some people might have a high need to fit or gain approval from their peers, therefore they can be involved in injuring others. Prejudice. As explained in the section, the influence of prejudice in social media, cognitive prejudice, affective prejudice, and cognitive prejudice, it is an important factor that generates digital injuries. Prejudice is an illegitimate perspective towards individuals who are members from another group, for example religious, racial, ethnic, social, political, etc. People with prejudices can use digital tools to injure others who belong to other groups. Lack of awareness. As mentioned before, digital injuries are normalized behaviors in our society. As we see them mostly in our daily digital interactions, we consider them as normal practices, being not aware that we can hurt others, without any purpose or not even noticing it. Accessibility to technology. The easy access to the digital world, especially in posting, commenting, sharing information, etc., not only facilitates the creation of digital injuries, but boosting their propagation. There are many digital injuries that become viral in few days, affecting the lives of the persons involved. Lack of parental supervision. Youngsters and children, who do not have a direct guidance or supervision from their parents or caregivers, can be more likely to be involved in digital injuries. Fast digital transition. The digital world came faster than the society expected. Therefore, there is a lack of digital ethics and norms of conduct for a healthy online interaction. Social and cultural factors. In some cultures and countries, digital injuries can be more tolerated, normalized, and applauded than in others. Emotional management. People who deal with managing their emotions, especially those who tend to be impulsive, may be more likely to be involved in digital injuries as a way to release their frustrations or negative emotions. Revenge. Digital injuries can also emerge as a form of revenge. People who were injured in some way can seek to injure their offenders. Activity to do with youngsters. Theater, the online disinhibition effect. Duration, 120 minutes. Divide your young learners into 6 teams. Ask them to do an in-depth research of the theory, the online disinhibition effect, and its author, John Suler. Assign to each team one of the following factors that cause online disinhibition: invisibility, dissociative anonymity, asynchronicity, solipsistic introjection, dissociative imagination, minimization of status and authority. Ask each team to make a play of how each factor caused digital injuries. Ask them to present their plays with the rest of the group. Make some conclusions with them about these factors. Activity to do individually. Do an in-depth research of the theory, the online disinhibition effect, and its author, John Suler. Make some reflections about how these factors that cause online disinhibition lead to injure others in the digital world. Negative impact on mental health. Dopamine addiction. The non-profit academic medical center, Cleveland Clinic, states dopamine is known as the feel-good hormone. It gives you a sense of pleasure. It also gives you the motivation to do something when you're feeling pleasure. Dopamine is part of your reward system. This system is designed, from an evolutionary standpoint, to reward you when you're doing the things you need to do to survive, eat, drink, compete to survive, and reproduce. As humans, our brains are hardwired to seek out behaviors that release dopamine in our reward system. When you're doing something pleasurable, your brain releases a large amount of dopamine. You feel good and you seek more of that feeling. As mentioned before, digital injuries are totally normalized, unaware, and, in some cases, applauded. When injurers post a digital injury, they can receive positive reactions and feedback from the rest of the audience. This can trigger the release of dopamine in injurers, reinforcing their behavior and creating more digital injuries. Some injurers might get immersed in an addictive cycle of hurting others and rewarding. Furthermore, this situation can also boost the dependence of injurers in social media, as they will be in high need of rewards and validation through likes, shares, and comments. Anxiety. Victims of digital injuries can have anxiety, not only for days. Victims can experience frequent anxiety even for several months. Some of the symptoms caused by anxiety are sweating, rapid heartbeat, difficulty breathing, excessive worry, overthinking, excessive restless and nervous, etc. Victims can become excessive worried regarding what other people are doing or saying online. This can cause a sense of hypervigilance with a high impact in their lives. On the other side, digital injuries can also cause social anxiety, which some of its symptoms are fear of talking to others, especially strangers, fear of being judged in a negative way, blushing, sweating, difficulty making eye contact, rigid body during interactions, fear of revealing being anxious, worry about humiliating themselves. Negativity. Digital injuries, for example, the constant negative comments and posts can emerge a feeling of negativity in a person. Activity. The characteristics of a negative person. Duration, 20 minutes. Which of the following characteristics can be attributed to a negative person? Anticipating about negative things to happen. They are optimists. They complain for many things. They do not go out from their comfort zone. Reach all their goals. Underestimate their own capacities. Love new things. Friendly attitude towards most of things. They allow themselves to be happy. Think about the present, than in the future. Focus on the negative aspects from a person than in the positive ones. Are grateful about most of things. Excessive trust on others. What digital injuries cause the below negative characteristics? Depression. According to the World Health Organization, depression is a common mental disorder. It is characterized by persistent sadness and a lack of interest or pleasure in previously rewarding or enjoyable activities. Depression is a leading cause of disability around the world and contributes greatly to the global burden of disease. The effects of depression can be long-lasting or recurrent, and can dramatically affect a person's ability to function and live a rewarding life. The constant exposure to digital injuries can lead to feelings of sadness, hopelessness, helplessness, etc., which can turn into depression that can last for a long time. Depression can happen to any person, no matter their age, background, etc. However, it is very important its identification and acceptance to avoid the triggering of factors that harm the physical health and well-being. Decrease attention span. For some victims, digital injuries can be overwhelming, which can result in having difficulties in concentration. Furthermore, being worried about digital injuries can make victims pay their whole attention to that situation, rather than other aspects of their life. Some symptoms of lack of attention may include frequent daydreaming, making careless mistakes, struggling to finish tasks, losing things frequently, forgetfulness, forgetting appointments or commitments, easily getting distracted, struggling to finish tasks, self-esteem and confidence. Self-esteem and confidence might get destroyed due to digital injuries. Negative comments, memes, etc. can make the victim feel inferior or worthless. Victims can start to have doubts about themselves. The effects of decreasing the self-esteem can be long-lasting, and it can take years for someone to rebuild their confidence. Negative impact of being injured. The negative effects in mental health caused by digital injuries, mentioned in the previous section, can lead to decrease the quality of the victims' lives. Academic issues. Digital injuries can affect the victim's performance at their schools. Anxiety, depression, or being embarrassed can make victims being unable to attend classes or even going to school. Furthermore, digital injuries can affect their concentration and focus on their studies. As a result, victims can have low grades or even fail their subjects. Physical health problems. Anxiety, stress, etc. caused by digital injuries can take a toll on the body, causing a negative impact to their physical health. Victims of digital injuries might have physical symptoms, for example, stomach aches, headaches, nervous colitis, gastritis, etc. Substance abuse. Some people, especially those victims who have not addressed their mental issues aroused by digital injuries, might see drugs and other stupefying substances as an alternative to deal with their emotional pain. Addictions can become a never-ending cycle, not only causing direct damages to the victims, but also their family and friends. Sleep disturbances. Anxiety and stress caused by digital injuries can alter sleep patterns on victims. Some victims can have severe difficulties in sleeping as they are worried about future digital injuries. Overthink the digital injuries in which they are involved. Being overwhelmed by negative feelings. Lack of sleep can lead to decreased cognitive function, reduced productivity, fatigue, mood disturbances, irritability, mood disturbances, health problems, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, etc. Self-harm and suicide. In extreme cases, digital injuries can increase the probability of self-harm and suicide. Digital injuries can push victims to take their own lives when they do not longer see any hope. It is of high importance to look for help immediately when any sign of self-harm or suicidal ideas are detected. Social withdrawal. Digital injuries not only can cause withdrawal from social activities on the digital world, but on the physical one. Victims can become less confident to keep their existing friendships or making new friends. The lack of interaction can generate feelings of isolation and loneliness, which can decrease in a short period of time their mental health and well-being. A part of the negative consequences due to the effects on mental health, being a victim of digital injuries can also have a range of negative impacts on a person's life. This can include lose reputation. Do you imagine that all of a sudden a stranger creates a meme of you and becomes viral? Do you imagine that someone is posting negative or fake information about you? Digital injuries can damage the person's reputation, having unnecessary challenges for maintaining relationships, pursue opportunities, or achieve goals. Digital injuries can emerge public humiliation, involving others with laughs, unfounded judgments, etc., which can make the victim lose their reputation immediately. Job loss. Have you ever heard a case of someone being fired or quitting their jobs because of digital injuries? Digital injuries can have a direct impact on the victim's jobs. For example, accusations or negative comments online, which even are not directly linked to the victim's job, can make companies take disciplinary measures, including the termination of the employment contract. Furthermore, companies might do additional research on social media and internet and decline hiring victims, due to concerns about the victim's reputation, which can damage the company's brand. Financial issues. Being unable to attend to work, decrease performance, losing their jobs, etc. due to digital injuries, lead to financial issues on victims. Furthermore, working on the negative impacts caused to the victim's mental health can make them being involved in additional costs in therapies. Body image. Digital injuries can have a relevant impact on people's self-esteem and body image in different ways, such as 1. Shame. Digital injuries, for example negative comments about a person's appearance, can become highly personal, therefore highly hurtful. As a result, individuals can feel self-conscious about how others perceive them, becoming ashamed of their bodies. 2. Constant comparisons to idealized standards. Internet websites and social media often overexpose idealized beauty standards and perfect body shapes which are far different with most of the society. People, especially youngsters, can have a direct impact on how they see themselves, looking for unrealistic expectations of how their bodies should be. The study, Negative Comparisons About One's Appearance Mediate the Relationship Between Facebook Usage and Body Image Concerns, demonstrates that young women who spend more time on Facebook have more probabilities to experience body image concerns, as they tend to compare their own appearance with others, especially with their peers. These frequent comparisons can lead to decreased satisfaction with one's own body. 3. Avoidance of peculiar social situations. Digital injuries victims may decline social situations or activities that are connected to their physical appearance. Going to the beach. Swimming. Using some clothes, bikinis, etc. Participating in some sports. Do you have other examples? 4. Development of eating disorders. Digital injuries related to body image can increase the risk of having eating disorders, for example, anorexia, bulimia, binge eating, etc. In Instagram, more and more we see a higher number of images with filters. Idealized beauty standards are making people posting the perfect picture in their social media profiles. Consequently, they are using several digital tools to make their pictures more beautiful, and on many times these additions are done in their physical appearance. Change body shape. Slim waist, legs, arms, etc. Make people taller. Add volume to some parts of the body. Make skin softer. Add makeup. Add virtual tattoos. Add muscle shapes. Social cognition and its influence in digital interaction. Social cognition refers to how we process and interpret social information, including our perceptions, thoughts, and attitudes towards others. In the context of digital interaction, social cognition plays a significant role in shaping our behavior and communication with others online. Here are some ways in which social cognition influences digital interaction. Self-presentation. Social cognition can have a direct relationship of how some people present themselves online. They can make adjustments in their presentation to fit different social media, social contexts, etc. Their perception of the online environment and its online users can have an impact on how they portray and behave. Attribution. Social cognition can have an influence on how we interpret other people's behaviors. We can attribute other people's behaviors according to their personality. We can also interpret their behaviors according to the social platform or the context of their interaction. Social signals perception. Social cognition is related on how we interpret and perceive social signals. In the digital world, these signals can be emojis, capital letters, stickers, etc. These signals can have a direct effect on our answer. Social comparison. Social cognition can influence some people to compare themselves with others. This can generate the FOMO effect explained in the section, Mixed Realities and the FOMO effect. Empathy. A very basic component of social cognition is empathy, that is the ability to experience the emotional states of another's person. A more sophisticated aspect of social cognition is the capacity to understand affective and emotional aspects in themselves and other individuals. Therefore, social cognition helps us to empathize with others in the digital world. However, the lack of watching other people's reactions during conversations can decrease empathy and boost digital injuries. Influence. Social cognition can be a powerful tool for some people to influence other users in the digital world. Several factors, such as perceived expertise, credibility, number of followers, reputation, persuasiveness, etc., can lead to build trust and influence others either for good or bad situations. For example, some influencers who speak about a specific social or political issue might influence their followers who can injure others. The influence of prejudice in social media: cognitive prejudice, affective prejudice, and cognitive prejudice. Have you been able to determine if you like a person before you get to know them? Do you have strange feelings for a specific group of people with different ideologies or culture than yours? Prejudice is an illegitimate perspective towards individuals who are members from another group, for example religious, racial, ethnic, social, political, etc. Prejudice can emerge negative attitudes or negative evaluations towards these persons. Reasons for prejudice. Early education. Early education is an important factor of seeing prejudice as normal in our society. When families and teachers provide specific, correct attitudes towards other groups, small children are unable to analyze the situation and hear all the sides of the story. Sense of belonging to a specific group. Unpleasant experiences in the past, generalizing that all members from that group have the same characteristics, due to a previous negative experience with one or few of them. Human survival. Some sociologists have realized that when a big crisis raises and a potential enemy or situation arrives unexpectedly, individuals do not have time to process a legitimate view. Defensive prejudices raise immediately to save themselves. Types of prejudice. John E. Farley classified prejudice into the following categories. Cognitive prejudice refers to what people believe is true. Example: adherence to a particular metaphysical or methodological philosophy to the exclusion of other philosophies that may offer a more complete theoretical explanation. Affective prejudice refers to what people like and dislike. Example: attitudes toward members of particular classes such as race, ethnicity, national origin, or creed. Cognitive prejudice refers to how people are inclined to behave. Example: expressions of what one would do if, hypothetically, the opportunity presented itself. These prejudices have a relationship within each other, however not all of them have to be present in a person. For example, one person might think that a specific group is dangerous, however this person does not have unkind feelings towards them. Difference between stereotypes, prejudice and discrimination. Stereotype is a widely view or belief, whether negative or positive, regarding the attributes or characteristics of a particular group. This view is applied to most of the group members. Can lead to prejudice. Prejudice. It involves reaching unfavorable conclusions or making negative judgments about a person or group, without evaluating objectively or considering previous evidence. Can lead to discrimination. Discrimination. Unfavorable action or treatment against persons from a group, who are considered to be different or outside the group to which the discriminator belongs. How prejudice can cause digital injuries in our digital world. Excessive wrong and generalized information. The excessive amount of wrong and broad information about a specific group can cause that young people change little by little their prejudice without even noticing it. For example, mass media about a specific place and culture. Have you ever not contemplated a touristic destination because of fear? Has your impression towards the native persons from that country changed? The alternative truth, information without evidence might conceive misperceptions and prejudices towards a specific topic, therefore persons. On the internet and social media we can find several contents with alternative truths, conspiracy theories, fake gossips, etc. Echo chambers. According to the Oxford Dictionary, an echo chamber is an environment in which somebody encounters only opinions and beliefs similar to their own, and does not have to consider alternatives. Prejudice can lead to the creation of online echo chambers, in which their members only interact with the ones with their same points of view and beliefs. At echo chambers, prejudice is reinforced. Echo chambers limit people's exposure to different perspectives, as members only share information according to their beliefs. Discrimination. Have you ever filled in a questionnaire before entering to a private group in social media? Prejudice also leads to discrimination in the digital world, where people cannot have access to groups, services, or opportunities due to their ethnicity, gender, race, etc. Test 1. The injurer's objective in a personal insult is: offend the victim by addressing their specific personal characteristics, physical looks, etc. Be funny. Offend the victim only using memes. Not offending the victim. Correct answer, A. 2. Is a feeling of worry that an interesting or exciting event is happening somewhere else. FOBO. FOMO. JOMO. FIBO. Correct answer, B. 3. Which of the following statements is false? Digital injuries can cause a negative impact in people's body image. Digital injuries can cause financial problems. Digital injuries have a high level of awareness in youngsters. Digital injuries can make people develop eating disorders. Correct answer, C. 4. Which of the following is not a factor that causes digital injuries? Anonymity. Peer pressure. Hate speech. Lack of awareness. Correct answer, C. 5. Who is the author of the online disinhibition effect theory? John Suler. Sebastian Suler. John Smith. Elton Smith. Correct answer, A. 6. What is dopamine? Is the hormone that gives people a sense of pleasure. Is the hormone that causes depression. Is the hormone that causes anxiety. Is a medicine. Correct answer, A. 7. Digital injuries are punished with jail. Normalized in our society. Only in the comment section of social media. Healthy. Correct answer, B. 8. Which of the following statements is not an impact of being injured? Digital injuries can cause sleep disturbances. Digital injuries can cause social withdrawal. Digital injuries can enhance reputation. Digital injuries can make people lose their jobs. Correct answer, C. 9. What are the different types of prejudice mentioned in this book? There are not any types of prejudice mentioned in this book. Personal prejudice and social prejudice. Cognitive prejudice, affective prejudice, conative prejudice. Race prejudice, background prejudice, digital prejudice. Correct answer, C. 10. Which of the following is not a way in which social cognition influences digital interaction? Attribution. Social comparison. Empathy. Excitement. Correct answer, D.